considered quitting YouTube? Guess this is kind of true. You don't like living in LA. You have non-vegan foods on special occasions. She's not vegan anymore. What's up guys, it's Caitlin Bea and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video that you guys requested on my Instagram stories this week, and that is for me to answer your assumptions about me. I asked you guys on Instagram stories to send in your assumptions about me and I would answer them in a video, and I've seen this video go around like so much here on YouTube, and I actually already did a version of this on my Instagram stories and saved it in a Q&A highlight. So if you guys like this and you want to see more of me answering your assumptions, then just head on over to my Q&A highlight tab on my Instagram and you can see them all there. It's pretty fun. Let me know what you guys like better. Do you like this quality? Do you like this DSLR setup? Or do you like my vlog camera setup from like the past couple of months? Let me know. Or if you just don't give a shit, you know, let me know that too. So the first question is trying to spill some tea right here. It says, you are vegan, but not 100%. You have non-vegan foods on special occasions. I would actually say that yes, that is actually true. And I know some of you are probably like, oh my God, is this another vegan that's gonna do a whole video about how she's not vegan anymore? No, that is not what's happening, and I actually am going to be doing an update video on that soon, just to kind of like share my thoughts on that and where I'm at in my journey. But I stopped calling myself vegan pretty early on because I realized that there was so much that went into the vegan title that I even was really aware of, and it kind of put a lot of pressure on me. But when it comes to foods, I would say yes, that assumption is true, because there are times where I will go out to eat and there's literally nothing else for me to eat. When I was in Paris, like little cafes were open and basically it was like meat or eggs or pastries. So I ordered a croissant, and I'm pretty positive that like you can't make a croissant without an egg in it. It's times like when I go out to eat and I just feel like there's nothing else for me to eat but like a pancake or something. It's not like I feel like I'm like treating myself though. It's not like, ooh, an indulgence, I'm gonna eat like animal products. But I think it's just those times where I just don't feel like there's anything else for me to eat. And personally, I just would rather order that than starve and not eat, because I get very, very hangry. But I have not had any meat or like eggs on their own for like 3 years, so it's been a while. The next assumption is you're always extremely positive. That is a very sweet assumption for you to make. I would like to say I'm a very positive person. I'm definitely an optimist. I always like to see the best in situations, but always like, no, I'm a human and I'm not always positive. Like, I'm not like just this happy bubble. I have my days, I have my moments. I can't even make an assumption because I feel like you're so real and transparent. I love you. Oh my God. I love you too. That's very sweet of you. Not all assumptions have to be bad though. The next assumption is that I'm not very insecure. I think this one is actually false. True? False? No, it's false. Kind of goes back to me being human. I have my insecurities and I feel like it just kind of depends on the day. I've gotten a lot better about this like post-college and post-high school. I feel like high school I was definitely the most insecure. I feel like as you get older you just worry less about what other people are thinking about you and are just more focusing on yourself. I am secure in myself a lot of days, but there are some days where I'm super, super insecure, and I feel like that just comes with this job as an influencer, as a blogger, whatever you want to call it. If you have any social media at all, chances are that you felt insecure at one point or another. Just scrolling on Instagram, I'm like, every single person is fucking beautiful and their life looks perfect. They have the most amazing body. They're traveling to all these amazing places, and it's just so easy to fall into that dark hole where you feel like you're just not good enough. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. And if I ever do feel like that, I will just honestly like not let myself go on Instagram for the rest of the night. I kind of like give myself a little unwind time. That's when I know I need to go do something else, read a book, go paint, do a song on piano, you know, like something else for me that makes me feel good. I've had an easy dating life. Yes, this is kind of true, but also I've had like my moments. Obviously, every past relationship has ended for a reason, and I did a whole video on my past relationship and like how that went south real quick. So if you guys want to watch that video, I will list that down in the description box below. It has kind of a nice twist to it. But despite that, I feel like in general I have had a pretty easy dating life. Like, knock on wood. Alex just did the creepiest Santa laugh in the background. Would you not agree? I mean, I found this guy like freshman year of college and I locked him down, ladies. You have more guy friends than girlfriends. This one is false. I feel like I've always been a girl's girl. In high school and middle school and high school, I feel like I did have a lot of guy friends. Just like in my classes, I would gravitate towards guy friends then, but like after school, I would always just hang out with girls, and I've always been like that, especially then when I went to college, joined a sorority, I was always around girls. Obviously I made guy friends, but I was never the person to have like a huge group of guy friends and like be that girl. Like my sister was that girl like in high school, like just had a lot of guy friends versus girls. But actually no, for the most part, I definitely have way more girlfriends than guy friends. You haven't had any identity crises in your life, you've always known who you are. This one is also false. I kind of just talked about this before, like where, you know, like comparison situation, but I just feel like, especially in this industry or whatever you want to call it, like it's so easy to have an identity crisis, and I feel like I've been going through that for the past 2 years. I was just like, I hit a spot where I'm just like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing on here anymore. Like, what's my purpose? What's my passion? This one is definitely false. I've gone through so many identity crises, I feel like, especially career focused, but also just like who I am. I still go through that, and I feel like our whole 20s is an identity crisis, and also just like the quarter life crisis. Like, what the f am I doing? Dun, dun. The next assumption is you cry a lot. Alex, do you think I cry a lot?
Yeah.
You think I do? Okay. Well, I will say that I feel like I'm emotionless. Like, that's just the Aquarius in me. Like, there were so many times in my life where I'm like, I just have no emotions. If you're an Aquarius, you can relate. I'm definitely one person to like mask my emotions. I'm very good at that, and just kind of like hold it off till later. But I will say that ever since my dad passed, I have become like such an empath, and I will cry so easily now, which is probably what Alex is talking about, because he'll like say like one thing. He said something the other day about like missing my dad, and I started crying immediately. And I will cry at watching videos, commercials, like so easily. It'll just trigger something in me. Even just like when someone's talking to me, I'll start tearing up. So I wouldn't say it's like a full-on like bawl cry all the time. I don't have that often, but I definitely am like very easily triggered to like get choked up and like start like a light cry, you know what I mean? So I guess this assumption is true. Next assumption is you're not in a rush to get married. That is true. Alex and I have been dating for, it'll be 5 years in August, which I feel like is a long time for people to not be even engaged, I guess, because I feel like some people at this age, like I know so many people, I feel like I'm on Facebook, and like my entire feed is just engagement after engagement and marriages. And I get so many questions about like when Alex and I are planning on getting engaged or married, and I don't know, we're just living life, you know what I mean? Like we're content with where we are, we're good, and we just don't see like the pressure to get married because we know we're gonna be together. We might as well take our time. We have the rest of our lives. If you are feeling the pressure to, just do you, boo. Go at your own pace. You haven't had many hard times in life. This is, it can kind of go both ways. So I haven't had many hard times in life. That is true. Monica Church, if you're watching this, what's up, girl? I was watching her video about her car accident, and she was like, if you haven't had that like traumatic experience in your life, like that was like her traumatic experience in her life. I watched her so many years ago. I remember watching that and I was like, I haven't had a traumatic experience. Like I was like trying to think about it, and I could only think about a breakup. I remember watching that and I was like, I've had it way too easy. Like I said that to myself. And then my dad passed away, which was like one of the worst things to ever, that was like my worst fear and one of the worst things you can ever go through. So I would say that yes, it's true, I haven't had many hard times in life, but I've also had one of the hardest times ever, like gone through and still going through. Your bridesmaids' dresses will be the color nude. This is a great assumption. Honestly, I haven't thought that much about it. I'm not one of those people to like, that has my whole wedding mapped out and like know exactly what I want. I just don't really like care that much. So I haven't put too much thought into that, but I will say this is probably true. I definitely want something very neutral, like the color of my nails, like something very nude, neutral. I do not want a lot of color in my wedding at all. Put on a brave face, a smile, and act strong even in the worst of situations. Yes, this is so true. I am definitely, like I said, I'm a true diehard Aquarius. If you guys are yourself, you probably do the same thing. But I am very much so, I'm very easy, like I can easily mask my emotions and put on a smile, go do what I need to do and act like everything's okay, and then I can come back and like cry or like let it out in my lonesome. But I just don't like, I get very uncomfortable expressing emotion in front of people. You and your family aren't close because they're never in your posts. That is kind of sad. That is very false. The reason that I don't really have much of my family in my posts is because I live in California, my mom lives in Minnesota, and my sister lives in Wisconsin. My mom hates photos. She never lets me take photos with her, even if I tell her I'm not gonna post them. She just hates taking them, so it's a struggle. My sister and I are kind of bad with remembering to take photos together, but when she was here a couple weeks ago, she visited me. We did take some photos in Laguna Beach, so that was fun. Lived out our LC and Brianna lives. Next question is, you are as weird as I am. Probably true. I'm gonna make that assumption. That is probably true. I don't know how weird you are though. You have to be very extremely weird to be as weird as I am, to get on this level. You have many friends, but only a few that you 100% trust and tell everything. Yes, this is so true. I'm definitely one of those people who I would rather have a close group of friends, very close knit, that I trust, love with everything, hang out with all the time, than a million bajillion friends that I consider acquaintances. You haven't lost your Midwest nice. I think that is super true. I was always kind of nervous before moving to LA, if I just was cautious that I didn't want people to think that I'd changed if I moved to LA in a bad way, my personality, because you just hear all these things about people in LA, coming from the Midwest. Then I remember bitch, I'm secure, I got this, I'm not gonna change, and I definitely don't think I have really. I mean, I may have gotten more extra, but it was always there. It was always there. I would like to think I'm nice. I don't know. I guess you'd have to ask other people, but I would like to think that I have that Midwest Minnesota nice roots in me for life. Do you ever have dreams of your father? I lost mine years ago and only dreamt of him once. So this isn't really an assumption, but I'm gonna answer this anyway. But yes, I have had many dreams of my dad. They're not as often as they were a couple years ago, but I still get them pretty often. And when I do, they're very metaphorical, and I feel there's a message behind that, or something that pertains to my life, something I'm going through. And actually my friends have had very vivid dreams about him as well that they share with me and start bawling because they felt it was him trying to tell me something, which is really special. And I think I'm going to talk about that in an upcoming video that I'm going to do about my dad, and an update about where I am. I'm so sorry I haven't done that video yet. I promised you guys that last year, but to be honest, it's so hard for me to film that video, even an update video now. I can't believe it's gonna be 3 years next month, you guys. That's insane. I feel I blacked out when I filmed that first video because I filmed it right after he passed. So I am going to be doing that update for you guys. I'm so sorry again for the delay. It's genuinely emotionally draining for me to film that, and I know I'm gonna cry probably when I film that. So I just have to really set a day aside to film an update, but it's probably gonna be make me a wreck. Next assumption is you don't like living in LA. That is actually false. I would say if you asked me this last year, I would maybe have a different answer. I feel I have really grown to love and appreciate LA for what it is and all it has to offer, so much more, that since I moved back here after taking a break to travel. I think it has to do with a lot of different changes just going on in my life. So many things were just going wrong, all these health issues were causing me a lot of stress. Same with just where we lived, our apartment was just so crazy in rent. And also I just felt I wasn't connecting with a bunch of people I thought I would. Manager situations, I was going through so much last year that I just wasn't really talking about online, and I feel it really took a toll on me emotionally, physically, mentally. I was just drained all the time, and I just wanted to get out of LA because I was kind of blaming that for my issues, but also that could have probably happened anywhere and I would have hated where I lived. I think it was a lot of factors, but after taking 6 months off to travel, I really kind of had this newfound appreciation for LA, and I missed a lot of things about LA that I think I needed to travel and get away from LA for a little bit to really appreciate it and fall back in love with it. And now that we are in this new apartment, which I love so much, except for my upstairs neighbor, connected with people even more since I got here. I don't know, I've been loving it so much lately. I'm on a high. Next assumption is you are a genuinely kind-hearted person. That is so sweet. I would like to think this is true, but I guess you would have to ask people in my life, my friends and family, I guess. But I want to say yes, I do think I am, like I said, I am an empath, so I'm very connected to other people and their emotions and how they're feeling, and I genuinely want the best in other people. I want them to succeed. I want them to live their best life and see their potential, and it breaks my heart if they're not. I don't know how to answer that about myself. You and Alex fight, but you hide it. I would say that's, well, partly true. Yes, we obviously fight. Do I hide it? I don't know. It's not like I hide it, like, if people ask me, like, are you guys fighting? But actually, Alex and I don't really fight that much. Every couple fights, and if you don't, there's something wrong there, because been there, done that. Alex and I feel like more like bicker about stupid shit, like a married couple. I feel like our biggest argument is like the temperature. He likes it super cold in here and I like it very warm in here. Having to compromise about that is always an issue. When we were in Aspen, we had a fight one night about the humidifier and which side of the bed it should go on. So riveting. Next assumption is you hate the Midwest even though you're from Minnesota, love from Chicago. Love from LA, girl. I don't hate the Midwest. Actually, that is false. But I will say I just cannot see myself living there again. I mean, maybe in the long future, who knows what's in store, I guess. But the reason I left the Midwest is because it's so freaking cold, at least where I went to school and where I lived. Obviously, Minnesota is freezing, so that kind of like scarred me for life. And I just felt like for what I was doing, like job-wise, there really isn't opportunity for me in the Midwest to do what I'm doing. There's just a lot like healthier lifestyle here, and I love the sun constantly. Like everybody's always outside doing something active, so I just like the energy here a lot more. But I definitely don't hate the Midwest. I think it's very special in its own way, and I loved growing up there. The next assumption is you're actually normal, which you kind of don't like because Sarah is weird as fuck. I like how you guys know that Sarah is super weird, but also I am just as weird, and put us together and it's like, it's insane. Our boyfriends are so annoyed of us all the time. So I would say this is actually very false because I am extremely weird. You're a cat person. Oh, hell no. I love this little, if you see this little fluff right here, I think you can see his little butt. That's my child Oliver back there. He is a dog. I've always been a dog person. When I was in elementary school, I wrote up an entire dog encyclopedia book. Actually, I memorized a dog encyclopedia book. I wrote my own version, and I also made a sequel with my friend Sammy. We made Animals Encyclopedia and Animal Encyclopedia 2. I was subscribed to Dog Fancy growing up, even though I didn't have a dog, and I would draw every single cover dog just to like practice drawing dogs. I'm seriously, if you ask me to just draw something, I'll draw a dog face. It's just always been my go-to. I don't know why, but I love dogs so much. But I will say I do like cats too. Like I love all animals, honestly. And I feel like I connect with them on a spiritual level, and I feel like they just get me. Animals get me. You were a party animal in college. I would say yes, that is true up until like sophomore year. And then after sophomore year, I became a grandmother. Like I didn't want anything to do with the social scene much anymore, and like part of that was because I started dating Alex, so I was just like, whatever, I don't really need to like go try and like go out all the time. But also I just felt like I got it out of my system like freshman and sophomore year of college. I discovered alcohol, and his name was Bartons. He was my best friend. You love living in LA. I kind of answered this already, but yes, that is true. You would never cut your hair shoulder length. Ooh, I don't want to say never, like never say never. But I can't see myself cutting my hair shoulder length. Like, look at this. Like, my natural hair is so curly and frizzy and textured naturally that when I get out of the shower, like, it would go out to here, you guys. If I cut my hair, it would go out to here. I hope I'm a cool mom. I want to be like Kyle Richards and just have like long, luscious hair forever. You're super down to earth and a genuine friend to those around you. I would say this is definitely true. Again, this is kind of weird to answer about myself. Like, hi. But also, I definitely do think I'm a good friend. I'm a loyal friend, and I'm always that friend to like listen to people's problems or like listen to them vent and give my advice. I love listening to other people and like what they're going through and trying to help them through things. You grew up sporty and athletic. No, hunty. I'm the most unathletic person in the entire universe. You can ask Alex from trying to teach me to ski. No, I'm horrifyingly unathletic, and it's just run in my family. Like no one in my family is athletic at all. I did play softball for 8 years, and I don't know how I made the team. You prefer doing content for Insta over content for YouTube. No shade, love you. Okay, I don't take that as shady at all. I would say that assumption is true. Like I said, in 2018, I really fell in love with Instagram, and I fell out of love with YouTube, to be honest. And I think that was apparent. I talked about this in my YouTube 2019 life update if you guys want to check that out down below more in depth. I will say though, I've been falling in love with YouTube again, like I said in my life update video, and I'm going to be trying to post more videos for you guys. I'm working on my Good to Be Home series, which I am so excited to finally launch very, very soon. You did well in school. I would say that is true. I wasn't someone though like who excelled like overly excelled in school. I think I got like a 3.7 in high school or in college, so not like the most amazing ever. Next assumption is you've considered quitting YouTube. Not really, actually. This is kind of false. I've never really considered quitting YouTube. There are times where I felt like I said, I went through an identity crisis and I didn't know what kind of content I wanted to create, so I took breaks for a little bit, like when, you know, like I think I went like a month without posting at a time, but that felt like so long to me, and I've never wanted to like actually give up my YouTube or like quit my YouTube. Never anything like that, but there was just times where I just didn't feel like posting, and I feel like that's okay to take creative breaks. I feel like there's so much pressure on creatives to be putting out like the best content constantly and always coming up with innovative ideas and like breaking barriers, and I feel like that is so exhausting and taxing on us because it's impossible to just do that all the time. And again, it's kind of like not comparing yourself to other people and just really focusing on you and yourself. And if you need to take creative breaks, I think that's totally okay. You don't eat healthy, but you are staying skinny. I think that is false. I definitely do eat healthy for the most part. I think I go through, like when I'm vacationing, I will just let myself go a little bit. Like I don't really care that much. But for the most part, like I do take health very seriously, and I feel so much better when I eat healthy. I just prefer it. So I would say that's false because I definitely do like to eat healthy. You like to wake up early in the morning. True, but what is early to you? You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of people, because I don't work a regular office job, I don't have to wake up at like 5:30 or anything. I like to wake up between 7:30 and 8:30. That's kind of like my window. I do like to wake up early for the most part because I feel way more productive in the morning, and I love getting in my morning routine. I love like getting coffee, taking my dog out, sometimes going to a workout class, just like doing my thing, meditating if I want to. You would love to have a baby boy in the next couple of years. Oh my gosh, this is so funny of a question. Okay, so this is true and false. So false in that I want a kid or like a baby boy in the next couple of years. I cannot see myself having kids in the next couple of years. That is so soon. But I've had 3 psychics tell me within the last year that I'm going to have a boy first, and then a boy after that, and then a girl. So apparently that's my order, you guys. Apparently I'm having 3 kids, a boy, boy, girl. But that's gonna stress me out if that's actually true, because that means I'm gonna have 2 boys, and then I'm gonna be like, oh shit, I need a girl. Like I need a girl, you guys. So if I don't have that girl as my third, if I have 3 boys, like, you hate seeing other people copy your Insta pics in your feed. I would say that's actually false. I don't think a lot of people, first of all, copy my photos. I find it more flattering than annoyed by it, if that makes any sense. Like I feel like obviously imitation is a form of flattery. There's a difference between like blatantly just ripping someone off. You believe in karma and what goes around comes around. That is definitely true. I am a huge believer in karma. I'm a huge believer in just like putting out what you want to return. This is kind of law of attraction as well. I feel like your thoughts really do have energy and vibrations, and what you're putting out there, you're constantly manifesting. You were pretty shy and quiet in high school, but somehow still really popular. I was definitely pretty shy and quiet in high school when it comes to being in class. Like I felt like I wasn't that person who was like super loud and like a presence. You know, like we all have those people in our classes. But I feel like at our school, actually, in my grade, we were very good about being like, everyone was kind of friends with everybody. Like there wasn't like one popular crowd or whatever. You wish you used your college degree but don't want to leave YouTube behind or work a 9 to 5. This is actually false because I do use my college degree. I actually, for those who don't know, I studied broadcast journalism with a production track. So basically, it's what I'm doing right now. It's filming. Like I studied how to film and produce video content, and I was on the production track, which you could be on the news track or production. So in front of the camera was the news, and production track was behind the camera. So I was producing the school news. I was doing all of like editing and that kind of stuff, soundboards and audio, like miking people and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely actually do use my college degree because this is what I'm doing, and it actually helped me a lot. I learned so much when I switched to that major. You've only had 1 serious boyfriend. This is false. I feel like all of my relationships, you guys, have been really long. In middle school, I had a relationship for 2 years. My boyfriend in high school, I dated for 3 years, and then Alex and I are now gonna be 5 years in August. So I feel like most of my relationships have been long-term. I guess you would consider my high school one like serious at the time. You and Sarah are taking bets on who gets engaged first. I would say this is kind of true, but like not really, because we have always thought that she would be the one to get engaged first. I definitely think she will, and we both think that, so I don't know if that's like placing a bet on it. You think you're a health expert. Obviously this is false. I don't think I'm a health expert, and I always preface my videos that are like what I eat in a day is or whatever being like, yo, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not whatever, but also I do think a lot of people don't just do their own research though, and I'm very much pro do your own research, come to your own conclusion, and listen to your own body versus what other people are telling you, even like other YouTubers. All right guys, so those are all the assumptions I'm going to answer in today's video because my voice is turning into a straight frog as predicted. So I think that is my cue to go, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you like this video though, give it a thumbs up to let me know. I had so much fun with this video though. It's really fun to answer your guys' assumptions. Don't forget to go subscribe if you have not, and follow me on Instagram if you have not as well, because I post there every single day and it's super fun. And until next time, I will see you in my next one.